Hi guys, welcome back to the Casual Watch Review channel. So in this week's upload, I wanted to look at watch logos. Now, I can't take credit for coming up for the idea for this upload myself. This was actually sent in by a viewer called Ray, who kindly emailed me. He actually emailed me about my Phoebus video because I said in that video that I quite liked the Phoebus logo, and then he emailed me to inform me that he had a different opinion about the octopus logo, but we'll talk a bit more about that later. So in our discussions, I basically said to Ray, well, that would be a great video, the best and worst logos, or our opinion on the best and worst logos. So what we'll do is we'll go through Ray's top 5 best and Ray's top 5 worst logos, and then I thought I would do my ones. So first on Ray's list was Rolex. Now, unmistakable Rolex. This features on both Ray's list and my list. This is a logo that transcends watch collecting. It's a distinctive logo. Whoever you are, most people can recognize the Rolex logo. It has the crown, the very distinctive font. It's got to be top of the list. It's also top of my list as well. Next on Ray's list was Volcana, which I thought was actually quite a good one to call out, actually. Volcana has got a very classic font that they use, and I think that Volcana has actually been kind of lost to a lot of the history archives because they make a very high quality watch. There's a lot of history around Volcana, their cricket, their alarm watch, their diving compressor style watches as well. And I agree, I think this is a pretty good logo. Number 3 on Ray's list was Longines. Again, another classic. That wings logo, that font that they use, it's unmistakable, the Longines logo. So that's another one that I agree with, actually. So that was number 3 on Ray's list. Now, 2 that I'm not really that convinced about. So Ray's number 4 was Alpina. This is a great logo, or a good logo, that triangle. I'm not crazy about the font. It's a decent logo. I just wouldn't have had it in my top 5 best ones, but let me know what you guys think. And then 5th on Ray's list, which I don't really agree with, is Apple. So I'm a big Apple fan. All my computers are Apple. We've got iPhones and so on. I'm editing this video on a Mac Mini. But I don't agree that it should be on the list of best watch logos, even though they're selling more watches than every other watch brand probably combined at the moment. Certainly more than Rolex. I think that logo looks awesome on computers and things like that, but I'm not crazy about it being on a watch. And also it's a smart watch, so I wouldn't have put it in this category. But, you know, that's Ray's opinion, and I can respect that. So anyway, let's get on to Ray's least favorite logos. So what he kindly did is not only tell me the logo, but he actually gave a few comments about each logo. So we'll go through these. Now, these are watch micro brands, some of these. So I'll put the logos up so you can kind of reference these. So the first one he had was Review Tommen. Now, he says this one looks like a big R with an ostrich's head in the sand, and I can certainly see where he got that idea from. Then his next least favourite was Oceanica. He thinks that this looks like a monster from Monsters Inc., or the outline of a monster from Monsters Inc. Number 3 is Havan Tuvali. He says that this looks like a sad pilchard under a toll bridge. So I think that's the best explanation he's given, actually, for that one. Then his 4th least favourite is Mon Dragon. All he said on that one is just no. So he dislikes it that much that he won't even bring himself to come up with an excuse for why he doesn't like it. He's just not a fan of it at all. And then his 5th one is Bomb Frog. He says this is a frog in a bomb. Does he need to say any more? And yeah, I don't think he does really there. So that was Ray's best and Ray's worst watch logos. So now let's get on to my ones and see what you guys think. So first off, I had Rolex. Mentioned it before, classic design. It's got to be in there as one of the best watch logos. My second is my favorite, Omega. So this is a very distinctive logo that's been refined over time. I think it's as recognizable as Rolex. So I'm a big fan of the Omega logo there. My number 3 was Orient. So people not familiar with Orient, it's a brand that Seiko own, but they have a very distinctive kind of crest logo. Usually it's applied on a dial as well, so it has a really nice look to it. I'm a big fan of the Orient logo actually, and their watches are so affordable, you can't argue really. They're great value for money watches. Fourth on my list was Breitling. Now, I don't have a Breitling watch, or it's not really one that I've been scrambling to get into the collection basically, but their logo is very distinctive. It speaks of aviation as soon as you look at it. We've got the wings on there, sometimes there's an anchor included as well. Also, sometimes it's just the B, very distinctive font. And there's a lot of history around Breitling, how he used to fly over and take watches to the Allied forces, and then he would get in a fight, so in a pub, so he would have like a police record. So when he was flying back over, if he was to get stopped, he would have a record of why he was there or what times he was there to back up his story. So there's a lot of history around Breitling, a lot of cool history actually. And then fifth on my list was Horace. Now, I think I really like the Horace logo. The font is very distinctive. That also, the shield that they have on the back of the watch is just a classic logo, in my opinion. I toyed whether having Tudor here as well, but as I put Rolex on the list, I thought that having 2 Rolex-owned companies might be a bit much. But okay, so now for my worst ones, and definitely let me know what you think of these in the comment section down below. The first one I've got to say is Gran Seiko. I am not a fan of this mock Tudor, like the G and the S together. Their watches are so well made. I've had the pleasure recently of looking at some actually in person. The level of detail and craftsmanship is just awesome on these watches. I think that they should have almost split Gran Seiko off and called it something else, similar to how like Lexus or Infiniti or Lincoln, like how the car brands have done it. I think that should have been split off altogether because they make such a precision quality watch. I'm not sure how well received it is actually having Gran and Seiko actually on the logo. I don't think it actually speaks to the quality of the watch. So Gran Seiko was my number 1 of my least favorite. Next on the list was Christopher Ward. I just don't get this logo. It's just, they've changed it recently. It's just the name stamped on there. It's too minimalist. It's not like these watches are similar to like Namos or something like that, where they benefit from having a minimalist logo. I'm just not a fan of the Christopher Ward logo at all. Third was Jacob & Co. I'm not a fan of this logo. I'm not a fan of the watches. I think it just reeks of having too much money or more money than sense when it comes to watches. So Jacob & Co. is my number 3 of least favorite logos. Number 4, again, probably going to cause some controversy here, but Tag. I'm not a fan of the Tag logo. They bought Hua. I think they should have just adopted that logo. Hua had all of that racing history. It looks awesome when they put it on the heritage watches that they're releasing. But when you put the 2 logos together in that kind of surround, when you miniaturize that onto a watch dial, I think it looks far too busy, actually. I'm not a fan of the 2. And also, they're a different font as well. I think it just looks weird. So I'm not a personal fan of the Tag logo. And then the other one that I had as a kind of a dislike here was one that I'd actually mentioned before, which was Phoebus. So this is kind of like a cheeky honorable mention. They had an old logo where it was just printed on there that didn't look good at all, and now they've gone to the King Octopus logo. I think there's a few rumors online that the Jodie from Just One More Watch channel, which is an awesome watch channel, actually fed back to them about their logo, and they might have changed it because of that. So I'm going to give that an honorable mention. Their least favorite was their old Phoebus logo, but I do actually like their new King Octopus logo with his little crown on there. I think it would benefit a lot from being actually applied on the dial, but anyway, it looks pretty cool. Be really interested to know what you think of either Ray's choices or my choices, leave a comment in the comment section down below. I always try and get back to them as quick as possible. You can also contact me like Ray did on thecasualwatchreviewer@gmail.com. You can reach me across my many social media accounts. I would say definitely check out my Instagram account because I've started using that Instagram TV, so I'm uploading shorter videos on there for you guys to see throughout the week. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time on the Casual Watch Review channel. Thanks guys, bye.